going to be converting this wagon viscous and drive shafts into a 1310 complete. First thing we need to do is yank off the rear drive shaft, yank off the flange. So you got this nut. This is a 32 millimeter. Pull that off because we need to machine it in the lathe to fit the 1310 flange. Machine the ID of it to a bigger size. So we also need to take the flange off the rear diff, 4-bolt flange. We need to machine it out to the 1310 flange. This is a little bigger than both the one on the diff and the one on the VC. Bolt pattern's the same. All you need to do is machine it out on both. Alright, so here you have it. These are the pieces that have been machined to fit the pilot on that. You can see, slide right in. Perfect match. There you go. So here we have the tube, the 2.5-inch tube already cut to length and ground so that we can press in the yoke, the end yoke that we're gonna weld. Cut it on the lathe, clean it up, deburr it, grind it, and stick it on the shaft master to finish the process. So here we have the yoke ready to press onto the tube. We use this hydraulic press with the foot pedal to get it pressed in. Once it's in, we just release the pressure and do the other side. All right, so when pressing in the other side, you got to make sure that the yokes, the drive line is in phase, as you can see there. Perfectly in phase. Now you got that in phase, now you can press the other side in. Once both sides are pressed in, then you want to check the trueness of it. Usually like to leave them within 3/1000ths just to make sure they're nice and straight. We do that on both sides. So once everything's been trued, we're ready to weld. Set up our jig, get the welder ready, and start welding. So after we're done welding it, we gotta check how true it is again, because the heat from the welder distorts the metal. So we gotta make sure that it's straight, true, so we can balance it afterwards. So once everything has been checked, how straight it is, how true it is, then we go ahead and we balance it. We gotta unlock the bearings, put it in float mode. Then we turn on the machine. Here we can see how much it's out. This one's only about 1,000. It's really good. This one over here is about 4,000. So we gotta add weight to this side. This side, I'll add a little one just to try to make it perfect, but doesn't really need it. As you can see, I added the weight and it brought it down to 2,000. I'm gonna keep playing with it till I bring it down to 1,000 or 0. That's why I like leaving these drive lanes at. So now we're gonna install the flange yokes that go on the viscous side and on the diff. I'm installing these, put it through the trunnions here. And when you put these caps on, you gotta make sure that you don't lose any of the needle bearings in there, or else you can have vibration, it won't seat right, you have a lot of problems. So what I do is I stick it on the trunnion first, make sure that it sits in there well. And I use the arbor press to press it in. And once that's in, we stick in the clip. Make sure it's seated. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Hit that side a little bit. Should be good. So here we have the slip side of the wagon, Viscous. I machined it down to fit the 2.5-inch 83 wall tubing. With the 1310 on the other end, so it'll hook up a bolt-on flange to the transmission. Be ready to weld it up. So now we trued it, we tacked it, and we're ready to weld just like the other one. So this is how you true a tube. Straight. So we're gonna bring it down just the middle. For a few seconds, and then you dump water on the quarter metal bar. And there you go. That's how we balance the wagon drive shaft. Then 1,000. So there you go. This is the CRV K series and B series flange yoke. Will fit the transmission and differential. This is the one that we use to machine out. That'll hook up to there. And then that yoke goes to the diff on the wagon that we machined out to fit that flange. There you go. All done. Balanced. Ready to go.